Explain yourself, woman.
Yeah. Happy Wednesday, everybody. I decided this week that I was going to have Lorelle write the intro for me at the last minute. So I'm just going to read what she wrote and try and get through it all. All right. Welcome back to the program, Spidermonkeys. Lorelle and I have prepared a vibrant episode for you today, and we hope it will bring you Shakespearean levels of love for us and not cause you to spend months staring out your window in a dark depression. Have you guessed our movie yet? Or read the title of the episode on Spotify? That's right. Our fave vamps are back. So grab your red Kool-Aid and sangrias and don't buckle up in the hopes that Edward might slow up.
Hey.
And brace yourselves for Twilight New Moon. Wasn't that a great intro, everybody? Sound off in the comments if you want Lorelle to write the intros every week and have me read them blind, because I had fun doing that because it meant less work for me and more work for Lorelle.
I would like to defend myself. She gave me 0 moments of emotional prep before she just thrust the notebook in my hands, gave me a pen, and said, "Write! Write, monkey!"
You better hold on tight, Spidermonkey. So yeah.
I'm so excited.
This week, we're talking about Twilight New Moon, the sequel to Twilight. Just Twilight.
Twilight Half Moon.
Be prepared for Twilight Full Moon.
Hey-yo!
Hey-yo! Anyway, so I'll just give a quick little baby summary. Real quick. It's going to go a lot better than the B movie
don't
summary
let
did.
Jacob close to that baby summary. I'm sorry, Stephanie Myers.
No! Stephanie should be apologizing to us, Lorelle! Okay, anyway, here is our little summary of Twilight New Moon, sequel to Twilight, where Twilight last led off. It was Bella survived a horrific attack from another vampire. She and Edward went to prom, and Bella was like, "Will you please bite me and turn me into a vampire?" And Edward said, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that." And in this one, where we pick up is Bella celebrating her birthday, and then due to kind of a accidental, almost near-death incident at her birthday party hosted by the Cullens, this causes Edward to decide that it's better for her if he leaves her permanently.
Oh, is that what caused it?
Yeah.
I was pretty lost, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it took us a really long time to figure out how to get subtitles on the
That's
movie.
True.
So
I was merely...
Lorelle couldn't hear anything for right up until 5 minutes till the movie was over.
That's about right.
So,
I was just watching a couple of people.
Yeah.
Looking at each other.
Just looking.
Yeah, I had no idea what was happening. Well, wait, hang on. I see what you're doing now.
Bella.
Your blood smells delicious.
Anyway, let's jump back into
Yes,
Twilight.
I'm sorry, Twilight.
Let's
that out.
Yeah, cut it out. Cut it out, Lorelle.
Okay. Well, you're the editor. It's cutting out is up to you.
That's true. And I cut out the majority of Lorelle's parts and just leave myself. Because I'm a narcissist.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway.
Love that for you, girl boss.
G-boss.
G-boss.
This is just a side note.
Yes.
But if you ever want to have a lot of fun, just look a man dead in the
eye
and
say... I don't believe
say...
in fun.
Well, if you ever...
Go on.
Consider the abstract concept of fun and just think on it a little bit.
Sure.
And want to partake in it, I highly recommend looking a man dead in the eye and saying, "Wow, you're such a boy boss."
I'll try that.
They don't like it.
I'll try that.
I've learned.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
The next time, if I ever meet a guy, if I ever meet a male of this species,
If you ever speak to a man.
If I ever speak to a man.
Well, only when spoken to, remember?
Oh, that's right.
Remember, thank you. Sinner.
If I ever emerge from the nunnery long enough to lay eyes on a male, I'll try that out.
Straight up, though, I think a convent might have been good for Bella.
Don't even get me started, because if anyone could live in a convent, it would be me. I would be such a good nun. I'm telling you right now.
Awful. Maybe if you were one of the nuns from Dairy Girls, where she just cusses all the time.
No, listen. Here's what a nun does in my head. My imagination of a nun.
Okay.
She gardens. Probably does some cooking sometimes. Talks to God. That's it. No other social obligations. Sounds delightful.
Don't forget beating school children with a stick.
Oh, yeah. Right. I've got experience with that. No, I don't. No. Anyone who was looking me up to see if they want to hire me, that's a joke.
Yeah, we do not condone child abuse on this podcast. We shouldn't have to say that, but, crazy world we be living in.
So, not to cut short our hilarious banter about nuns, but should we go into category 1?
Yes. Category number 1! Writing.
So, I'm just jumping in.
Please just
characters.
jump in.
My questions are about the characters and the character decisions, and not to just... I'm just going to quickly repeat what Maya said. I did miss a lot of the dialogue, and so I was trying to glean from context clues, but we've established I was terrible at that because I didn't realize it was a Romeo and Juliet allegory parallel until, today, so...
But Lorelle also didn't read the books, so she went in, bare bone.
Yeah, exactly. My bones were bare. So my first question, and you answered this in the intro, was why did Edward run away? Why did all the Cullens relocate? But you're saying it was because what's-his-face tried to attack Bella.
Yeah, Jasper tried to attack Bella when she got a paper cut.
So why didn't Jasper just leave? Why couldn't he go for a vacation in Europe?
Well, Lorelle, in the books.
My favorite.
In Midnight Sun, which is the whole first Twilight book from Edward's point of view, Edward decided the first time Bella got hurt from the incident with James the vampire, when he was looking at her in the hospital and she was in traction, he decided I'm going to need to leave her for her own safety because my world is not safe for her, and B, I refuse to jeopardize her immortal soul by turning her into a vampire.
Gotcha.
So he had already decided he was going to leave at that point, but he wanted her to be stronger because he really didn't want to emotionally destroy her by leaving, and he was smart enough to be oh, she really does care for me, so I'm gonna hurt her either way by leaving, but I want to help her be better first.
Okay. Alright, that clears that up. So my next question is, what's the deal with the nightmares? Is it because Edward left, or is there some other trauma?
Nope, it's because Edward left.
She's screaming.
Yeah, I don't know why. I think in the books it's
traumatizing for me.
Yeah, it's a traumatizing movie to watch. I'll say this for the writing. I think the portrayal of depression and grief in that situation is actually very raw, because I think this was the first time I watched this, because seeing that scene, especially seeing CinemaSins do that movie and just being LOL, why is she just sitting there for months on end? Yeah. I was this is ridiculous. Girl, it's just a boy, get over it. But watching it this time, I told Lorelle, I was oh, I have an overwhelming amount of empathy for this girl. Because A, this is a teenage girl with really an absent mother. Charlie, as much as we love Charlie is kind of an absent father.
He's not a great dad.
He's a great person. That doesn't mean he's a great dad.
Yeah.
He really just kind of lets her on her own.
Yeah,
does his own thing.
He's kind of a dumb.
Yeah. And so she doesn't really have any family she can count on. She does not connect with the kids at her school, and I don't think that's her being a pick-me. I think as much as I love the fact that they're normal teenagers, Bella's not a well-adjusted normal teenager, so she does not fit in with the kids in her class. So Edward fills not only the role of, like, her best friend, romantic partner, by introducing her to his family. He gives her the family connection that she never had, especially through Esme and Carlisle and Alice, her girl best friend. And then he takes all of that away from her and leaves. So she truly feels like she is left with absolutely nothing. Like, she is empty. And I'm watching this, I was like, oh my gosh, holy shit, I am actually so sad. I just want to hug this girl.
Yeah, she needed a hug for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my really long-winded, wow, I actually felt empathy for this character after years of me being a pick-me.
Ah!
Anyway, pick
I don't
me,
know. I still
not pick me, pick me.
I still feel like the screaming was kind of abrupt.
Oh yeah, that did not make any sense.
It didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, sorry. I jumped off of your thing to just really talk about myself.
To go on your Bella apologist thesis.
Yeah, that was my thesis.
If there was like a college class called Why Bella Swan Doesn't Suck, Mya would be the professor teaching.
I mean, she does suck a little bit.
Okay, so what would you call the class?
Bella doesn't suck as much as we all thought she did.
Yeah, I'd attend that class. Okay. You know who does suck, though?
Edward?
Jacob.
Oh
my gosh, he's terrible in
gosh.
this movie.
Get ready for the Jacob hate club to launch in this episode.
I'm here. Why
darn
is he even considered a viable romantic lead?
I have no...
He's honestly a villain.
I know, you talk for a little bit, because I just, like,
He
talk
pretty
for
much
an hour.
tries to, in a roundabout way, kill Edward, because he's like, I'm gonna let Edward think Bella's dead, and then I'm gonna try and stop her from correcting him.
I don't kill anybody, Bella. We're not like that.
Yeah, right? He's awful. And then one of my favorite Jacob moments of him just being a turd for no reason is when Bella goes to the movies with the blonde dude. I don't remember his name. Mike.
Uh-huh.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever learned that. Well, okay, so Mike and Bella and Jacob go to see this face punch movie together.
Uh-huh.
And Mike is, like, kind of grossed out by it because it's a violent movie. Mm-hmm. And Jacob just, like, mocks him for it.
Yeah.
And then tries to, like, start some,
like...
Tries to get into a dust-up with him? Like,
yeah.
Why?
And also,
why?
Sidebar, Mike actually has the stomach bug, and...
Oh my word,
that's why he threw up in the bathroom. It wasn't even from the movie.
Yeah, it wasn't from the movie, guys.
So Jacob's just completely...
Jacob's the actual worst.
Which we don't like Mike either, but Jacob is
I liked him
worst.
in that scene.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Mike, you are allowed to have feelings.
Yeah.
Jacob is the worst.
Can we also talk about the fact that they were sitting in the movie theater and Bella, who is still grieving and just barely getting out of her, like, depression, is sitting between these two boys, and they both have their hands out like this, like, hoping that she's gonna hold their hand.
Yeah, that was honestly one of the funniest shots in the film, because you, like, see her... I think it would have been even funnier if she hadn't even looked at the hands.
Yeah.
Because it's obvious what they're doing. A girl doesn't need to look down to know that her space is being invaded by these two absolutely terrible men.
As a woman who has a very
absolutely terrible men.
Negative dating history, I was personally offended by every decision Jacob made in this movie.
I know, he's the worst. Oh gosh. I mean, seriously. Okay. Also, Jane is crazy, like too crazy to be a one-off character. So I'm wondering, does she come back?
Oh, in the Volturi scene?
Yeah, the Volturi scene.
We're jumping into the Volturi, which is part of the vampire.
I love the Volturi.
The vampire lore. Just classic vampires.
Yes!
You know.
Yes! Oh.
You know Aro would sleep in a coffin. Aro is played by the incomparable Michael Sheen.
Oh my god.
Who I love with my whole heart.
I do too. He's wonderful.
He just, talk about chewing scenery. He is just
I was saying to Michelle, my sister Michelle, that he is one of those actors who enjoys his job too much.
Yeah.
And it's so fun to
And
watch.
good for him.
Good for him.
Also, sidebar, I apologize for any construction sounds that you might hear. There is work happening elsewhere in the house.
By Mya. She's Mr. Fantasticing it. Her arm is out the door.
I was going to say I'm Professor Xing it.
Oh, you're Professor Xing. I like my version better where you've just got your rubber arm out the door sawing away. Maya's agreeing with me in sign language again. Oh my word, I forgot what I was talking about. So does Jane come back? I'm curious. I like her. She's cool.
I'm not going to tell you anything
okay.
until we watch. We're going to watch all these movies eventually.
That means yes.
If
because if she didn't, you would have just said no.
How do you know? How do you know that
I'm the Professor X around here.
Are you? Because maybe you're wrong.
Maybe I'm not. Okay. As much as I love Charlie, he is willfully ignorant.
Negligent.
Negligent and ignorant.
Yeah.
Like the scene where they're... Okay, one of my favorite scenes beside the Volturi scene, which... classic vampires.
Oh, so good. Lorelle wants more Volturi.
More Volturi. Yes.
Will she get it?
But one of my other favorite scenes is where they're hunting... What's her name? Victoria?
Yes. Oh.
First of all, the song, very 2000s, but great. Love it.
Yeah.
And I love that it's not your classic movie action song. That was cool. But where what's-his-face just covers up that random wolf track, and Charlie is like,
yes.
Did you see something?
Harry, yeah.
And it's like kind of obvious that he did see something, but Charlie's just like, okay.
Yeah. He's
all
like,
right.
No.
Like, he's living in this town with vampires, werewolves, who knows what else.
Yeah.
His own daughter is, like, interacting with these weirdos on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And he doesn't notice anything.
Also...
That has to be intentional.
Can I talk about the fact...
He is purposely not noticing.
And can I talk about the fact that she was in this deep depression for months. Yeah. Probably about 6 months, if I'm judging correctly.
I don't remember.
And only at the end of 6 months did he say, I'm going to send you back to live with your mom.
Yeah.
Not... I'm gonna get you to meet with a psychiatrist or a counselor. It was, I'm just gonna send you so you can be Renee's problem. I'm gonna send you to your negligent mother.
Yeah, right.
So you can be her problem.
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, darn it, Charlie, pick up a parenting book. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not surprised Renee left you.
Alright, so I have one more thing to say about the writing.
Please do.
Because I've had a lot to say and I just need to stop.
No, I love it.
But, so you know how I have a terrible memory.
Yes.
And I was like, I gotta like refresh myself on this movie or I'm not gonna remember anything. So I sat down and I watched some YouTube clips of like various scenes in the movie.
I'm so proud of you. Lorelle does the most.
Thank you. Anyway, and then in the YouTube comments, someone said, tell me if this is true, that Ghost Edward isn't Edward at all, but it's Bella's subconscious seeing him. Like, he's not actually appearing to her. It's her own hallucination. Is that true?
Oh, I don't remember.
I'm like, if so, that is a really major deal, because it would explain why he doesn't show up or just know that she's not dead.
Yeah.
Or show up at other points, like when Jacob is hitting on her or whatever.
Yeah.
Because surely he would otherwise.
Yes.
And it makes sense, too, that he wouldn't... Yeah, it clears up a lot, but that was not made clear. Because he is a vampire and he has vampire powers. Is this one of his powers, or is it Bella just being crazy?
Because he can read minds, but he can't read Bella's mind. So
yeah,
how would he know that she was going to put herself in a dangerous situation? Yeah. I'll read the book again. Yeah. I'll find out. I'll get back to you.
So all this to say, I feel like if that's true, that would actually make a lot of sense.
And if it's not true, that part just annoyed you.
Yeah, that part annoyed me then.
Yeah.
It was a big plot hole otherwise. Alright, I'll save my rating for the writing after I hear what your thoughts were on the writing.
I literally made one note while we were watching it because I was just vibing and watching the movie, and I said, this writing is still squirrely.
It's a little squirrely.
Like, I think it was better than the first one and a little bit more realistic in how people speak. Like, the lines didn't stand out to me as much with being, like, unnatural dialogue like the first one.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little bit better, but it was definitely still, like, This is not how humans talk, which makes sense because there's a lot of non-humans in it. But
yeah, maybe it was written by. Did I make this joke last time? I better not say that again.
What was it?
I was gonna say maybe it was written by a vampire, and that's why it seems. But I'm sure I've made this joke before.
No. You made ghostwriters.
Dag nabbit, that's right, and that was funnier.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, then, may I give my rating, or
Please
did you have
do.
more to say?
No.
Okay. I gave it a C- because I was confused, but I didn't think it was terrible.
Lorelle.
Yes.
I also gave it a
Did you give it a C-?
C- for writing, not
Yes.
because I have any personal hatred towards Stephanie Meyer. It's
No.
just not it just takes you out of the movie sometimes when the dialogue is that unnatural.
Well, it's not even for me the dialogue so much this time because I couldn't hear the dialogue.
It was the plot.
It was like, yeah, it just felt like the character decisions were really strange.
Yeah, the plot is wildin' in this movie. Oh, that word isn't gonna age well, but that's okay.
I don't know.
That's okay.
I was thinking like Walden, like the book.
Like wild, but you just put I-N on the end of it.
Wilden. Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Wilder. Know. Laura Ingalls Wilder.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no, I was just confused. I felt like the writing didn't make certain things clear, like why Edward and the Cullens just left and wouldn't even email Bella anymore, or like why Edward could see Bella sometimes and not other times.
Yeah. I can't explain that part. I can explain the first part, but like just not.
Or like why, like the excuse me for saying this, but the black vampire, what is his name?
Laurent.
Why Laurent shows up to warn her and then gets, spoilers, killed. It just seems kind of random.
Again, Lorelle could not hear.
I couldn't hear anything.
Laurent showed up because he was looking for the Cullens.
He wasn't looking for Bella.
No.
Okay.
He just happened to run into her.
He just happened to run into her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he
enough.
was like, you, girl, you smell tasty. You know what? I'm going to do you a favor. Victoria, she would kill you like in a real messed up way. I'm going to just eat you the normal way. I love
cool. Laurent a lot, and I'm sad that he's dead. But one other thing I remember that I was really confused about is when Jacob was like, I literally cannot tell you. I thought he was just being dramatic. But you're saying he literally could not physically tell her.
Because the Wolfie boys are all interconnected within their thoughts.
Okay, yes.
When the alpha says something, they have to do what he says. Because of their weird Wolfie connection.
Was that established in the movie, though?
It was established later. After they had throwaway line yeah, we gotta do whatever Sam tells us to do, and then we literally can't not do it. And they were like, oh, Jacob found a loophole by just telling you to remember what he had told you before.
So perhaps what I'm chalking up to the writing being unclear was just my ears being unclear.
Maybe a little bit, but I stand by your grade because I could hear the whole movie and I still gave it the same grade.
Fair enough. Okay, well then I think I'm done with writing for now.
Excellent. Then that brings us to category number 2. Acting. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Please, take it away.
I'll be honest, I think the casting is pretty good in these movies. Like, honestly, everyone is well cast. I already talked about this in the first movie. I really think Kristen's acting is a little bit better in this one. I think maybe she had, I don't know, maybe a more, I'll talk about directing later, but a more intentional director this time. I think she did some really good job, or she did a really good job portraying, like, the grief and the depression. And I think the chemistry that she has with Jacob in terms of friendship and how the two of them interact together is actually pretty good. Like, it feels more natural. I'm jumping back to the characters a little bit, but like how I said earlier, she doesn't connect with any of the kids at her school. But Jacob, because he's kind of an outcast in terms of like just the normal town because he's a reservation kid.
And because he's a terrible person.
But also a supernatural creature, like she actually does connect with Jacob. And like the friendship definitely does help her heal some of what she's going through. which would
that
have
was
been
kind of cute. If they'd kept it platonic, I would have been like,
if
aw.
Jacob actually respected the fact that she was in love with somebody else and didn't try and push her into having feelings for him, it would have been fine.
My rewrite, they're platonic friends, and Jacob is still that protective of Bella because he thinks Edward is actually bad for her. And
Yeah.
makes him mad.
Yes.
That would have been cool.
That would have been so much better than the stupid love triangle.
It's not even a love triangle because Bella is not interested in Jacob.
Yeah. Anyway.
Which is news to me when I watched these movies for the first time. I was like, oh, so this is not a love triangle?
They want you to think it's a love triangle, but Bella really is only interested in Edward, and really doesn't want to lead Jacob on, but she also really just needs a friend.
Edward is not even, like, particularly threatened by Jacob because
he's like, thank you so much for taking care of Bella.
I know, Jacob is like a petulant little child.
Yeah, and Edward's like, part of, I'm jumping ahead in the books, but part of the fun is like, Edward's, I'll say maturity in comparison to how Jacob reacts to things. Like, despite Edward being like, I'm a monster, I have no control, he has so much more self-control than Jacob does. Mm-hmm. And an ability to just kind of manage himself better. And I'm like...
Anyway, yes.
I'm like, clearly, Jacob, you could actually learn some things from the sparkly vampire.
Yeah, right? Oh, man.
I gotta talk about the teenagers. Like, Mike, I'm so sorry to touch your knee. Oh my gosh.
Filing a complaint with HR again.
Yep, that was a sexual harassment lawsuit waiting to happen. None of that. My bad. Anyway,
yes, go on.
Mike, Jessica by the amazing Anna Kendrick.
Yes, oh my word, she's so delightful.
Anna Kendrick is incredible in these movies, and I know she says she barely even remembers filming them, and I'm like, she's an iconic part of them, especially when they're walking out of the movie theater. And she's like, I just don't understand. Like, is it, like, supposed to be, like, a metaphor for capitalism? Because, like, some of us just want to shop.
Yeah,
and
right?
I was like...
Yeah, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that.
I was like, go off, Jessica, yes!
Exactly. That was one of the notes I made. I wrote, Anna Kendrick's character is too relatable. Is she supposed to be an antagonist? Because it's hard to see her that way.
Yeah.
It sort of feels like they're framing her as an antagonist.
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be the antagonist because she's like, I don't really understand Bella.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, she's so vapid. And I'm like, clearly she's not.
Obviously not.
Clearly she's just a normal teenager.
And she's okay with being a normal teenager.
Yeah. She doesn't need to date a centuries-old vampire with chiseled abs and diamond skin.
Oh,
she just wants to date the mediocrely cute guy.
And she just wants
friends with.
her friends to not jump onto the backs of motorcycles with strange men.
Yes! I was like, Anna, I get you.
I know,
I get you. When you see your friend being self-destructive and you're just like...
Yeah, right. Get off the motorcycle! I honestly wasn't even 100% sure if I was picking up that she's supposed to be an antagonist correctly, because I was like, the way Anna Kendrick plays her, she just seems like she's most enjoyable person.
Yeah. She's the only relatable person in these movies, really.
I'm like, out of all the people in this film, who do I want to hang out with the most? It's her character.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I want to hang out with Anna Kendrick.
Yeah.
Anna Kendrick absolutely is, like, if you've seen The Good Place, she really is, like, the Eleanor Shellstrop of this universe. Mm. I feel like she absolutely would have figured out that the people were vampires long before anything else happened. She would go, wait, this is the bad place!
Yeah, right. Spoilers.
Yeah.
For The Good Place.
Do you have more you want to talk about acting?
I just want to reiterate Michael Sheen, all the hearts. The first role I ever saw him in was Tron Legacy, one of my favorite movies. Who does he play in Tron? He plays Zeus. Yes. He's like
the club guy?
Yeah, he's the owner of the club.
I haven't watched
former this movie in a really long spoilers, time. Former resistance leader.
Got it.
Yeah, and he just has like a small, not small, it's a pretty small cameo in the film. And he just plays this character for just a few minutes, and it's so iconic. Every scene he's in, he's so delightful. And back then, that was before I would ever have even dreamed about watching Twilight. But I went and watched the Twilight scenes with him, and I was like, oh, Michael Sheen.
You're the best movie.
You are so delightful.
Yeah.
So, any scene with him in it was my favorite part of the movie, just because A, he's in it, and B, it was the Volturi scenes. Yeah. So, they're so good.
Honestly, I'll say this for the movies, everybody really gives their all.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody feels like they were phoning it in, even if they maybe were.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was thinking too, because like it's sort of like accepted now that Robert Pattinson
hated Twilight.
Didn't really hated Twilight.
Yeah,
but watching the movie, I mean, he does his job. Like,
yeah,
he's a professional about it. So
yeah, maybe not a professional in interviews, which
maybe
I respect.
not.
I'm not gonna lie. I respect actors speaking their mind about the people they work with and the people they work for. Because that would be me. I wouldn't be able to hold anything back.
I have to say that I agree. I think, because when we reviewed the first movie, we said the weak link was the two leads.
Mm-hmm.
And watching the second one, I didn't think about it.
No.
Because, yeah, like you were saying, you think Kristen improved or whatever. I think they both did.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even have a moment, really, where I was like, ugh, this is so unnatural, or what. I mean, it is still a little bit, but like the whole movie is like, it's kind of the vibe of the movie. So
I think the chemistry
I didn't think they
between
stuck
everybody
out.
was a little bit better.
I didn't think they stuck out.
Yeah.
Or anything.
And
so,
some of it might have been it was their second movie. It was their second time working together.
Yeah.
They had a bigger production budget because the first movie was so successful. So I think there was just more time for them to do reshoots of stuff.
Yeah. Can I also jump back to Michael Sheen's character real quick and say that he has a line where Edward says, every thought I've ever had, he can read every thought I've ever had with one touch. Yeah. I want to explore that more. How does Michael Sheen's character, not go totally insane? Edward's like how many 100 years old?
Yeah.
He reads all of his thoughts in one moment?
Yeah.
Several lifetimes worth of thoughts in one moment?
Yeah.
How does that not totally overwhelm him and, like...
Well, he's also, like, a psychopath.
Yeah, but, like, how does he retain any sort of presence of lucidity? I want to explore the Volturi.
Think about all the times people have trauma dumped on you.
Right.
With what has felt like lifetimes worth of traumatic experiences, and how you hold all that and then go, all right, so are you ready to go get Pizza Hut now?
And then I too try to kill a vampire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trauma dump on Lorelle. Every second, every moment we're together.
I look forward to it.
You don't even have to hold my hand to read all of my thoughts that I've had in a lifetime, because I'll just tell you.
Yeah, maybe I am a vampire with vampire powers, and I didn't know it.
It's your mad ability to hold other people's problems.
Yay! Woohoo! I live off of other people's.
I'm a sacrifice!
So, what was your rating for acting?
Okay, even though it was significantly improved, I don't think anybody's performances apart from Anna Kendrick and Michael Sheen really garnered Oscars. So I did give it a C.
Okay.
Not a C minus, a C.
I gave it a B. I thought it was fine.
So
I actually
generous.
thought
She's generous today.
I'm feeling generous today. I actually thought and then for Michael Sheen, he gets A++++++++.
This will be fun when we do the final grade and see how that factors in.
Yeah. So he alone gets a different grade, but everyone else gets a B.
I love it. I love it so much. Anyway, that brings us to category number 3. Visuals. Let's talk about visuals.
Yay, I'm excited.
So there's a little bit of controversy about first movie versus all of the other movies, because I think you'll notice that in the second movie, the blue is gone.
The blue is gone.
And I think I really defended the blue because I said it was a very intentional stylistic choice. But watching just an absolutely gorgeously shot film with rich, warm colors was so nice.
I have to agree. I mean, it felt a lot more cinematic. In a lot of ways, you know, cinematic, capital C. It just felt a lot more like a movie.
Like a movie. I thought the color grading was beautiful.
It was.
I thought the cinematography was magnificent.
I really enjoyed it. Like, the transition scenes and the effects and things. It was all very,
The scene where she's running through Voltura and there's just people surrounding them in red capes.
Yeah, but that was delicious.
Bella's got like this foresty green shirt on and like her jeans, so she literally looks like the Pacific Northwest. I'm spitting.
As you should.
The Pacific Northwest personified.
Mm-hmm.
As she's running to her sparkly boyfriend who's trying to kill himself in the middle of the street.
Her
and I'm like,
sparkly jingle bell boyfriend.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how they added sound effects to his sparkle?
Yep. Like a wind chime.
Like a wind chime. Overall, the cinematography, I agree, was a lot more classic, and they made a lot more interesting choices. And for one of the ones that I remembered, because I've seen this movie a couple times now.
I'm sorry.
Which, I can admit that. I'm an adult. I can admit I've seen Twilight New Moon several times now.
Yeah.
But the one scene that I did remember, in spite of my amnesiac brain, was where she sits on the chair and the camera rotates to signify the passing of the seasons. And the fact that, like, her emotional state hasn't changed in all that time. I thought that was fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, that one really stood out to me. And like you said, the scene where she's running through all the people with their red capes, very good. I liked the chase scene with Victoria. Like, you pointed out that scene where, like, Victoria's in the background, out of focus.
And you just see red in the tree.
Yeah. That was so good. I went and watched that clip because I was like, Maya said that was there.
It was.
I missed it. Big surprise.
It was honestly just delightful.
It was delightful because then the camera moves around. What's his face?
Harry. Sorry.
Harry moves around Harry,
and
then he briefly blocks the place where she would have been, and then she's not there anymore.
Yeah,
it's just love it. So good. But out of all the visuals, my favorite is just again the Volturi. What can I say? It's so, like, classic vampires, like, Dracula aesthetic.
And,
It's, like, flowing rapes, flowing robes. I got too excited. Gothic cathedral, like, thrones, just dark suits.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the Volturi weren't in, like, classic black robes or anything. They were just wearing, like, classy black suits
with,
and
like the gold accents.
Yeah.
So
it was like they know what they're about, but they're still they're modern, but they feel more ancient than the other vampires, which I don't know if they are supposed to be older, but they definitely feel like they're older.
Yeah.
And the two vampires in the background, I wish they would have gotten more, like, dialogue, because just they both get, like, 1 or 2 lines of dialogue, and they deliver it, like, so, just, like, vampirically. Yes! They're just, like, the one guy sounds positively decrepit.
Yeah.
And I love it.
And the
it's
other
like
guy
the
is,
husk of a being, and the other guy is, like, sinister English accent.
The other guy is, spoiler alert for Stranger Things season 4. But the other guy is Vecna from Stranger Things season 4.
The sinister
blonde one.
European guy.
Yeah,
love it.
The sinister blonde twink. That's Vecna.
Well, honestly, as much as I love Michael Sheen and he's still the best, those two are also great. I would have loved to see more from them. They were just sitting on their thrones, just chilling, watching the drama unfold, completely unbothered.
Also,
just love the whole, like, all of that scene, just everything about it.
Jane, played by, it's Elle or Dakota Fanning. I can't remember. I have trouble telling them apart because they're sisters.
Sisters are all exactly identical to each other.
Shut up, Michelle.
Yeah, good one. Comedy genius. Just making the magic. We are both weavers of comedy gold. Call us Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, move on, Jelena. Moving along, Jelena.
All right. Now,
But anyway, Jane's magnificent.
Yes. What were you going to say about her?
I truly cannot remember for the life of me.
I'm so
Derailed
sorry.
my thoughts once again.
She's got cool red eyes. I actually wanted to point that out too. Like,
Yeah.
in terms of the classic vampires, like, the Volturi are, even in just, like, their physical appearance, they look a lot more classic vampire than Edward and the Cullens.
It's just good.
It's just good!
And I'm jumping back. I should talk about the costumes a little bit. You touched on it briefly, but the Volturi designs are amazing. Alice is impeccably dressed throughout the whole movie.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, Bella's wardrobe is such a huge improvement from the last one. It's still like that 2000 style, but it just looks less dated. They have her in more like, I'll say more neutral, like, pieces, like oversized plaid and flannel, like the things you associate with, once again, the Pacific Northwest. I just feel like it was more balanced than some of the weird crap she wore in, like, the first movie.
I can't really remember her outfits, but I do remember, like, Alice's random, like, you talked about how they're racing to save Edward's life, and she takes the time to change her clothes.
Puts on her little red driving gloves and, like, a scarf.
But they're
like,
so iconic. Her driving gloves.
I'm like, Alice, I love you, but get it together.
I love her outfit. But do we have time for this, Alice? Edward is literally trying to kill himself.
Hang on. Okay, so hang on. Let me just do a quick impression of Alice getting ready to drive to Voltura to save Edward's life. Now remember, they're on a race against the clock.
Yeah. Wow, you've already transformed. Alice, is that you?
Bella, now we have to hurry. Edward's life is in danger. We can't be wasting any time.
For those of you who are only listening to the audio, Maya has put on a pair of gloves and a babushka scarf, and she looks
I'm ready
glamorous.
to drive through Italy to save my brother from certain death.
Glamorously.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom, vroom. Alice, what the heck? Get your priorities straight. Let's talk about music real quick. So there's two kind of sets of music in the movie. There's the songs that play, which feel very 2000s, but I think they're all good choices.
It's a lot of Bon Iver.
I mean, the movie was made in the 2000s, so what can you do?
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's the background music with the musical cues. Again, a movie that uses solid musical cues throughout the dramatic scenes to add tension or to kind of cue up important moments or even just emotional hits. And I'm a big fan of that. I like musical accompaniment.
It's so good.
The scene with the Volturi wouldn't be nearly as tense if it wasn't for the musical accompaniment.
Oh, yeah.
I give, honestly, the musical aspect of the film, like, a solid A.
Yeah.
Just for the background
It's
music.
magnificent.
Yeah, yeah. Except for the part where Edward jingles when he sparkles. That's all I'm gonna say about that, Maya.
Ding, 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 ding. Anyway, so what was your final grade for visuals?
My final grade for visuals was B. Good, but I want even more classic vampirism. Or even maybe more of a modern gothic twist. It was modern gothic, but maybe even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're extra, but Lorelle needs you to be more extra.
I need more extra, yes.
I also gave it a B.
We become more in sync with every episode we do.
We really do.
I don't like it.
I love it.
I need to be more contrary.
Part of the ship, part of the crew. Part of the ship, part of the crew.
What does that mean?
It's from Parts of the Caribbean.
Oh, I forgot. I need to just stop. I'm just gonna from now on pretend I get all your references. I'll be like, yeah, that was a good one, buddy.
It would
How?
It would make our banter seem more interesting on this podcast if you would just
go along with it. Yeah, I'll lie to you from now on.
Thank you.
My commitment. Maya Anderson. I promise to lie to and deceive you for the rest of our podcasting days.
I almost started crying. That was so beautiful.
I would love if you started crying.
Yeah.
That's my lie.
Oh.
I don't want you to cry.
Alright, fine, whatever.
No, I don't believe in emotions. They make me uncomfortable.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen is Aro, the vampire.
Oh, I love Michael Sheen.
So good.
Alright, so yes. B. Final category, Maya.
Welcome to category number 4. Directing.
Yes, it is directing, Maya.
I got it right.
You get it right.
Because process of elimination. It's the only one left.
I'm so happy for you to take the lead on directing because I had the least to say about directing. So please go ahead.
Honestly, my notes were pretty aight.
Right.
Those were my notes. I just think that I really love Catherine Hardwicke because I feel like she has a very iconic style. I don't even know who took over, but whoever took over with the rest of the trilogy just did some things that I just preferred, like directing the visuals, directing the actors. Like, clearly there was a little more. It didn't feel like an indie movie anymore. It felt like a big production. And honestly, for the scale and scope of the books, I think it needed to be a big production. So yeah, I don't have a ton to say about directing. I really just thought that the changes that were made from the first movie were really positive changes. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it gave the actors a better chance to shine. I enjoyed it more.
Yep.
I enjoyed it more than the first one.
Yeah.
Where everybody looked like a Smurf.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at my notes on directing, and basically everything I had to say about directing we covered when we talked about visuals. So,
whoops.
Yeah. I mean, just like the shots, the shot choices, the creative visual choices, the fact that the acting didn't immediately take me out of the movie.
Yep. So I'll say, like, even though these are all separate departments that we talked about, like, because, like, technically all final choices will fall to the director. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to give my final grade because I don't have a ton to say about directing. Mm-hmm. But my final grade for directing is an A, solely because of all the other categories that fall under it, and the director is kind of technically the final say in those changes being made. So the fact that it improved from the first movie to the second one, I consider this an absolute win. Yeah.
I gave directing a B+ because I liked what they were doing. I thought it was fun. And I felt like this time I could see the vision of the movie. So, it felt pretty cohesive, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a little...
The
plot was a little crazy. Yeah. The characters are a little crazy.
They're little cuckoo bananas.
A little cuckoo banana bread.
No, not a lot of well-adjusted people in these movies, but...
Zero well-adjusted people in these movies. Even my favorite characters are not well-adjusted.
But they are entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To be entertained.
Indeed. Yeah, I felt, honestly, it was a lot better than the first. Sorry. Better than the first one.
No, it definitely was. Anyway, so that brings us to our final grades.
What is your ultimate grade?
My final grade was a B-.
Sink your fangs into this audience. My final grade was also a B-.
Oh!
That was the worst high five ever.
Yeah.
No.
Hang on, one more time. Let me look at your elbow.
How can we suck so bad at a simple high five?
I was homeschooled.
Oh, lordy.
And you were ex-Mennonite.
High fives are the most physical contact that Mennonites do, so yeah, you're right.
Neither of us are good at physical contact because it was not encouraged in either of the circles we grew up in.
Oh,
and that's all growing up in Lancaster County. Okay.
Don't tell them where I live. I don't want my billions of fans knocking on my door. Yes. I live in Ohio.
Yeah.
In the city of Ohiosburg.
Our condolences to the people of Ohio. For the fact that Lorelle apparently lives where you live.
Claimed allegiance, citizenship.
Well, Ohio does not claim you.
Don't speak for Ohio. You don't know what the Ohionites think.
Anyway.
Yes.
Thank you all for tuning in to yet another episode of Effing It Up. Once again, you can follow us on Instagram at Effing It Up, or you can watch the video version of this podcast, which has some fun visual jokes that you will not get in the audio format.
You will, because I'll narrate them for you.
I mean, Lorelle will narrate them, but, they're pretty fun. So give us a little watch on YouTube.
Check out YouTube.
At Effing It Up.
I hear it's a pretty good site.
Yeah, not bad. What are you doing?
I'm making a heart.
You're making a little K-pop heart?
A little K-pop heart.
You're such a freak.
I'm so modern. I'm practically a Gen Z.
No. Stop talking.
I fit right in with them kids.
And we're going to let you go before it gets any worse. So thank you, listeners, for tuning in once again. And as always, keep it feral.
Keep it feral.